Welcome to St. Michael-Albertville High School for Lake Conference Boys Basketball on CCX. Tonight, the 4th-ranked Wayzata Trojans pay a visit here to the upset-minded Knights. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. Second meeting of the season between these two, and Wayzata kind of took care of business the first time around, won by about 20, but they're a little bit short-handed tonight. They've been playing, battling through some illness and injury, and they will not be at full strength here.
Well, and the key one is Carter Bierke. You know, obviously their big scorer going to St. Thomas. Anyone who's 6'8" and can shoot the three and rebound like he can, you lose a guy like that, someone has to step up and fill that void. The first time these two teams met, it was close at halftime with Wayzata pulling away late in the second half. So I expect a battle here tonight, Jay.
Obviously, Wayzata's got a big one coming up with Hopkins, too, and you're on the road against a team that hasn't done especially well. I'm sure Coach Schnettler and his staff have to be thinking a little bit about this being like a trap game, if you will.
Yeah, and I think Coach Schnettler does such a great job at just getting his team ready, regardless of who the opponent is. And one of the trademarks with his teams, and this team in particular, is they play hard, and they play hard all the time. They play the right way. So I don't think they're going to overlook it. I think they know they're shorthanded. And to be honest, St. Michael-Albertville has played really well as of late. So watching them on film, I think Wayzata is going to know they got to bring it tonight. Anytime in a late conference game, especially on the road, you got to bring your best effort.
And some similarities in style, too. They both like to play the drive and kick game and get some open looks for their team. And, you know, who can do that better and handle the ball better, I think is going to tell a lot about tonight.
Well, and without Carter Bierke in the lineup, you're going to see a lot of similarities. Not a lot of height, interchangeable guards that can switch everything. And those defenses are hard to go against, too. So tonight's going to be about taking care of the basketball and who can knock down shots. Both teams are very capable of hitting three-pointers. Who can get hot, control the boards, take care of the ball. That's going to be the deciding factor tonight.
Let's talk about key players to look for in tonight's game. And for Wayzata, we're going to talk about a veteran guy that maybe won't dazzle you with stats, but what an athlete. There's a possibility this might be his third best sport, but Drew Birkeland is a heck of a basketball player along with his football and baseball talent.
He might not dazzle you with his stats, but he'll dazzle you with winning. And you talk to anyone that's been around him, even us covering him over the years, he's a winner, and he's a guy I would always want on my team. You know, I look at basketball last year in the state tournament run, he was their best player when they won the state championship. Going to the Gophers as a baseball player, led him to a state football champion. He's just a phenomenal athlete, a guy that just does whatever it takes, whatever his team needs to win, he'll do it for you.
And for the Knights, their leading scorer is going to be playing some D2 college ball, Johnny Tennyson, who's headed to Bemidji State.
Yeah, and Johnny's played since he was a young player here, and he is a very good shooter. And he's just smooth. You're going to see tonight he can get his shot off really quick. He's got deep range. He can also get to the basket. I think he's added that part of his game a little bit. And he's averaging about 19 a game. And I think tonight, to beat the big boys in the Lake Conference, the Hopkins, the Wayzata, Johnny's got to be in that mid to high 20s. He's got to get it going, and he's a fun player to watch offensively for sure.
All right, it's the Trojans and the Knights. A lot of blue and gold on the court here tonight. Lake Conference boys basketball coming up next here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
It's Lake Conference boys basketball here tonight as the Wayzata Trojans and the St. Michael-Albertville Knights being introduced to the crowd here. It's second meeting of the season here between the two squads whose school colors are basically identical. You look at throughout various sports, and you could easily be looking at one or the other if when they played at Wayzata. Their jerseys are almost the same, and vice versa.
You throw Minnetonka and Hopkins in the mix, you got a lot of blue in the Lake Conference.
Yeah, and these two though both have the blue and yellow, or blue and gold too. Yeah, so very, very similar outfit for both these teams. Starting lineups for these two teams. As we said, Wayzata a little different look than maybe what they'll have at when they get to full strength. Trojans on the left with Hayden Tibbetts. Ryan Harvey, Miles Barnett into the lineup tonight. Drew Birkeland and Eric Rottinghaus again without. Spencer Hall without Carter Bjerke tonight. And for STMA, Carson Radke missed the first meeting with the Trojans, so he's back tonight. Riley Purcell, Logan Johns, Johnny Tennyson, and Rylan Maynard, the starting group for the Knights. And St. Michael-Albertville, Ryan, doesn't have like the giant post players, but yet they seem to all be around that 6'3", 6'4" to 6'6" range.
Yeah, and they all, all can shoot and they can pass and cut, and defensively too, when they play man-to-man, allows them to switch pretty freely too. So that can always be in trouble. And I think too, having Carson Radke back for the Knights, who wasn't there in that first meeting, he's been playing really, really well the last few games, averaging over 16. So that, along with Wayzata's players being out, I think makes this a pretty intriguing matchup.
Tip controlled by the Knights as Radke into the front court here. Coach Johnson for STMA saying we really got to take care of the ball. Wayzata likes to get up and pressure you a lot. Back cut here, and the layup is good for Maynard on the feed from Radke.
Well, that's exactly what you got to do against pressure defense like that. Is you got to cut. You got to, if they're going to overplay, you got to make them pay. Going to the basket, heads up pass, nice finish, good opening possession for the Knights.
Tibbetts, a little hesitation dribble, but he's cut off. Now Barnett into the middle.
Yeah, good rotation there. Nice help defense. Wayzata too, for years, so good at driving, kicking, right? Drawing the help, finding the open shooter.
Barnett will turn and fire. That's a long two for Miles Barnett.
Yeah, getting the start tonight, averaging just over 5 points. That's always a good confidence booster when you can knock that first shot down.
Baseline drive, stripped away from Radke on the way up, and here come the Trojans. Birkeland, an open look from the left side. It's short. Barnett, though, soars for the rebound, and he'll shoot that little fadeaway. And Birkeland trying to get the next one, but tipped away by Maynard. Tennyson will drop it back off here to Purcell, and then baseline with it. Maynard looking to go up and under, and missed it.
Yeah, nice job, too, by Rottinghaus that time, playing good defense without fouling.
Ooh, Tibbetts, a strong finish with the left.
Well, he's really come on this year. He getting his first year of starting. We saw him against Hopkins. There's a reach-in foul. Just start playing with more and more confidence, and drives like that, going hard, finishing with your offhand. He has just gotten better and better for the Trojans.
And Tibbetts was one of the guys that when I talked with Coach Nettler preseason, and he said, everybody looks at who you've lost and all that, and there's Brian Schnettler right there in his 8th year, and what a job he's done. State champs last year, of course. But he said, we've got some guys in our program that have been just itching to get a chance to play that are pretty good players, and Tibbetts was one of those that he mentioned.
Well, and you got to think, too, throughout youth basketball, Wayzata's youth teams are constantly winning tournament after tournament at every level. So they got a lot of depth, and these kids that are finally getting their chances, juniors, very solid players. Pass.
Kick back out to Barnett, and now Birkeland will stop and fire. Ooh, an air ball there. We may have thrown a little jinx at him there. A couple misses early for Drew. Tennyson down the baseline. Swing it around. A right side look at a three for Jans, but wouldn't go. Ooh, Tibbetts crossover, but couldn't get it to drop. Tennyson rips down the rebound.
These are the possessions you got to take advantage. You got transition, you got numbers. Nice look by Radke and a great shot by Riley Purcell. Very capable three-point shooter, averaging just under double figures. But I think Wayzata's team defense so solid that if you can get out and run like that and maybe get an open look before they're able to set up, that's going to be really effective tonight for the Knights.
Here's Ryan Harvey stepping to the middle off the glass and good, and presumably he'll be counted on a little bit more tonight to look for his shot.
Well, of course, the quarterback for the football team, just another one of those guys that's a winner. There's another reach. That's going to be 2 already on Barnett.
And I got to be honest, the official, I think, gave him the benefit of the doubt. He let the first bump go, but when he did it again, called the foul. There's a look at Harvey's nice move.
Well, and I love that, just the patience, right? The up and under, good shot fake, knowing that he's got a couple of inches height advantage there. A lot of times you'll see kids rush that finish. He took his time and nailed it.
Maynard will kick it back out now to Purcell, who made that last three. Tried to throw a double at Tennyson, but he got rid of it. Jans then turns it over.
Good help and recover that time. You kind of see the Trojans are not going to hesitate to throw a double, second defender anytime Tennyson gets the ball. He's such a big bulk of their scoring. They feel like if they can limit him, make other guys step up and try to beat him.
Jackson McAndrews in there, number 24 for Wayzata, the 6'7" sophomore. As Barnett went out with those 2 early fouls. Back cut by Tibbetts, and it's a blocking foul. And he'll go to the free throw line. It was one of those close ones down low, but Jans, I think, was so far underneath the basket there that he's going to draw the block.
Yeah, kind of a possession, not going anywhere. You can see his feet right on the tip of that little circle down there. That's a hard one to call for referees. We get the advantage point up here with our great camera guy seeing exactly where that was. But yeah, possession not going anywhere. Berkeley, good patience, and finding Tibbetts cutting hard to the basket.
Colton Damaris, 6'6" junior, coming in here for the Knights, a guy that can bang around a little bit and post up a little bit inside.
Yeah, super good athlete too. He can really sky and jump. You'll see some maybe possible dunk attempts down the road too. He's very athletic.
Tennyson dropping it back out. Maynard picked that dribble up and he'll go back out to Radke. And now Purcell.
And you see Wayzata, anytime they close out on Johnny Tennyson, that high hand, trying to get in his pocket, in his way of getting a clean look.
Open look at a 3 that time, but wouldn't fall for Purcell. Wayzata will bump you when you're driving the ball too. You got to be ready to get knocked around a little bit and play through it and hopefully get some fouls. Oh, great pass.
What a great look. And that's what you love to see, guys running hard like Rylan Maynard did and getting rewarded. That's not an easy catch too, going full speed, kind of going low to get it, but great look, great finish.
Yeah, perfect timing too, so they didn't have to do any dribbling, just take it up, and long distance try by Harvey wouldn't go.
Yeah, you're seeing both teams short on their jump shots, and sometimes that's common early on as you get your legs warm. Yeah, here's a look at the transition for STMA, the second basket they've gotten running. See Tennyson with the rebound, good look. Not an easy pass too, threading that right to 2 defenders. Drew Berkland, back when he was a D-back, would have picked that one off, but he's a receiver now. He doesn't quite play those passing lanes like he used to. Yeah, you've seen, the Knights, again, in the half court struggling a little bit with their offense, but if they can get out and run, I think they can get some good looks. That's going to be critical for their offense.
33 Davis Hay and 10 Jake Schmidt in now for Wayzata. Tibbetts trying to turn the corner, jabbed away from him by Ramirez, but then out of bounds off the Knights as they will sub in with Hudson Hochstedler, a freshman at 6'4", as there's a look at Coach Derek Johnson.
Yeah, those tips from behind, I used to love them, and you'd think you might get a dunk going the other way, and you get bummed when your defense can't pick it up. Quick hands.
Cut off at the edge of the lane there was Schmidt.
Yeah, both teams playing really solid half-court defense. Nothing easy. See good talk, good communication. Everything's being contested and challenged.
Inside, Harvey scores it in a foul. He did a nice job meeting that pass. He wasn't really ahead of the defender that much, but he just squared up his body. He's not, super big and bulky, but he did a good job of meeting that ball and then gets fouled.
What I love too is he went right up with it, Jay. You see guys, when you got a little bit of a size advantage, they'll try to kind of wimp it up there. He went right up strong, got the contact, able to finish.
Hochstedler picking up that foul for the Knights. So Harvey spins in and out. Pretty good hustle there, almost kept alive by Davis Hay. And Tennyson, I think, was fouled there. The official's going to confer just to make sure they have the same thing. Oh, it's going to be a jump ball.
Again, you see great help and an awareness on where Tennyson is. Look at him drive right there. Good help by Drew. So you're getting that one hand in there. He's got a lot of strength for not being overly big or tall, able to get the tie up.
8-7 Wayzata here in the early going. And an illegal screen going to be called there on Hay.
Yeah, design play there for Drew Berkland to come out for the three, and anytime the referee see it, swing that hip out or any movement in the feet, that's an easy call for him.
Tennyson will bring it up court here for the Knights. They are down by 1. Maris into the middle and then drops it off. Purcell, an open look from the baseline, but no, and Harvey rebounds.
And those are those open looks. When you're playing the number 5 ranked team in the state, you got to knock those down. You get good penetration, great kick. Speaking of knocking them down, Drew Berkland, 0 for 2, doesn't matter. He's got that short-term memory, and he's just going to keep shooting, and he's made a lot of timely threes in his career.
I was going to say, of anybody who probably isn't really too bothered by shooting an air ball and is not worried about shooting it the next time, Drew Berkland will be right up there. And that one's thrown away, and it's either good D or, to me, that's a foul. He bumped him hard enough to throw that pass off driving the baseline.
Well, it's one of those two, when you go baseline, you got to know where you're going to go with it, and you got to be prepared, because if you leave your feet, you're really limited. And if you see a defense kind of come into that line of vision, what happened there, he ends up overthrowing it, going out of bounds. Again, good help defense by the Trojans.
Open look there, and Jackson McAndrew burying a long three there for the Trojans.
Yep, 6'7", too, only a sophomore. So I'm getting some good minutes earlier in the year, and steps right in and knocks it down. And that was deep, too, so he got some good range.
Schmidt will pick up the foul that time on Tennyson. So 4 fouls. Wayzata now has built the lead to 7, though, at 14-7. They were down 7-6, so 8-0 run. Tennyson's going to let it rip from long distance there, and McAndrew rebounds.
He's got that ability to knock those down. That's a tough shot, 6-7 feet behind the line.
Tibbetts dropping it off. Oh, and knocked away. It'll be free throws upcoming here as Davis Hay looked like he was maybe surprised by that a little bit, but then he was chopped across the arm as he tried to go up.
Well, you get dribble penetration, and again, a great backdoor cut by Tibbetts. And what I love is he didn't try to force a bad shot behind the backboard. Instead, saw his big fella Davis Hay cutting right down the lane. And to your point, I don't know if Davis was ready for it or not. That's where you got to have those hands up, ready to catch and finish.
Well, Wayzata not liking the visiting rim so far. They are 0 for 4 at the line here. Referee wiping the basketball off a little bit, and a little excess sweat on it.
Hey, that basketball needs some drink every once in a while. They get tired too. You got to take care of it.
His second one is good, so they finally have a free throw make there. 15-7 Wayzata our score, as Radke will walk it up court here for the Knights. Radke driving, but denied. McAndrew with the block. Oh, and then a steal, though, by Tennyson. Tennyson back the other way and puts it in. McAndrew almost got it.
Yeah, I like that. Tennyson just going hard right at the rim.
I would have liked it even better, though, if he threw it ahead to a wide-open teammate.
He worked hard for that steal.
You're right.
You know,
McAndrew short with that one.
Good contest, good box out, too, for the Knights.
Connor Longben, number 22, is in for St. Michael-Albertville. There's Tennyson looking for the reverse. Didn't quite get to the other side very well, though. Tibbetts. Rotated to Berkland. Looking down low and then back out. McAndrew lining it up for a three, and it's good. McAndrew buries another three. He's had 2 threes and a shot block here in the last minute or so, and it's 18-9. Wayzata.
And again, all set up by dribble penetration, a good cut. You draw the defense inside, kick it out. Here's a look at that steal. Johnny Tennyson playing the passing lane. Good contest, and just a nice finish. And sometimes as a scorer, you haven't got anything going, that's all it takes, getting a layup like that, seeing the ball go in. You get great penetration, baseline, defense collapse, make the extra pass. And Jackson McAndrew, 2 threes already.
And he was hoping for a 4-point chance there. Following the flight of the ball, I didn't really see whether it was, maybe could have been a foul there, but he wound up on the ground.
You know what I think's happened, Jay, is so many kids flop on threes that I think referees, unless they really see action, they're just automatically not going to give that call to you. We've seen it from the NBA level all the way down. Unless it's legitimate contact, you are not going to give that call very often. Wayzata, anytime you're on the road, you're shorthanded, getting out to a good start, right? Getting yourself a little bit of a cushion just kind of helps the collective energy of the team.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a big rival, and they don't have, the gaudy record, so you kind of have to create your own energy on the road a little bit too.
Always on a Tuesday, right? Tuesday after, you got a big game on Friday against Hopkins that, their emotions are going to be high, so you just got to bring it every time you suit it up, no matter where or who you're playing. Got to bring that energy.
Damaris into the lane, rises up and scores it. You talked about it. He's got some hops and likes to attack.
But he's got a great first step too for a guy his size. And you can see he got to the paint there, good patience, and able to just finish.
Berkland, not a very good pass that time. They're fortunate. It apparently went off the Knights. Much to their surprise, as they turned around, they thought it hit Wayzata. So Harvey will inbound here for the Trojans, leading it by 7. Berkland way across to Tibbetts.
I think what they love too about Tibbetts is he doesn't rush anything, doesn't make bad decisions. As Berkland gets his second three from the baseline, really Wayzata shooting the ball great from three-point land here.
Corner, Radke, an open look. And earlier on, they were making more, those are the kind, like you said, you need to convert if you're going to pull off a win here. There's Damaris with a swat.
Yeah, timed it perfect. Kind of both hung in the air, a little double pump, and able to get that block without any contact in the body. Nicely done.
So Miles Barnett will come back in, number 13 for Wayzata. He's got the ball now after those 2 early fouls. And they shoot that one up, a tough runner, got it back. And a partial block there.
I love that how he went after it too. It was a quick jumper. You see, he knew that shot was off and got a second look, wasn't able to get it. Love the aggressiveness.
Purcell back across, Radke will keep it moving. Purcell cut off by Tibbetts.
When you just see there's just no driving lanes, Wayzata really doing a nice job. Great cut. They have been able to get some stuff when they've cut to the basket like that. Nice job by Radke, but that individual dribble drive, just nowhere to go. Wayzata playing really good one-on-one defense.
Tibbetts will catch and shoot and knocks it down off the dribble handoff.
Yeah, when you go underneath that dribble handoff with Wayzata, they're going to make you pay. They all can shoot the rock.
Radke dropped the pass off. He kind of landed awkwardly, but looks like he's all right. Tibbetts pushing it the other direction. Tibbetts draws the foul.
Great speed. He looked like a shot out of a cannon there.
I think it'll be Radke picking it up. It is. Yeah, they didn't really have numbers, but he just was like, I'm going to go for it here.
He had 3 blue jerseys back and just outran them and attacked, went right into the body. And like we always talk about, Jay, they're more often than not, referees are going to reward you when you go hard like that to the rim.
See Tennyson back in for STMA and McAndrew back in for Wayzata. Tibbetts makes a pair here, so he has 7 points already.
And if I'm the Knights, Jay, what I'm still telling everyone is we got to cut and move. If we're stationary, we can't help our teammates out. But anytime we've cut, gone hard to the basket, we've been able to get rewarded with layups.
Purcell into a double, got it back out. Tennyson a look, but he's short.
Yeah, exactly what the Knights want too, a great look for their best shooter. Nice
Harvey
pass.
dropping it off to Berkland. The layup's good. That's a
Quarterback to receiver there.
Yeah, that's the type of play that in the 50s people would have loved to see. I mean, it's just that same kind of nice cut and an old Celtics move or something.
You see Harvey going hard left, but what I love is his head up, his eyes are up. And if you're going to deny guys on the perimeter, you're opening yourself up to that back cut. And the connection that was so lethal on the gridiron, also lethal here on the hardwood.
Knights now down 15. Their shots have not been falling of late. And we're going to get a push. Let's see, this could be Barnett.
Third,
Yeah, it is indeed on Burnett.
Yeah, and the Knights forcing the ball on the baseline. And lucky that there was a foul there because there was nowhere to go.
So Barnett, kind of one of those nights. He's just been in the wrong place, wrong time a little bit. Inbounded to Purcell here. 5:35 to go, first half. Wayzata ranked number 4 in Class 4A, leading STMA 28-13. Cross court picked off by McAndrew, and here's Tibbetts. Layup is good.
Again, driving baseline for the Knights. Just great help, defense, good rotation. Tibbetts knows how to finish too.
I think a lot of times offensively, you don't really realize that they're trying to funnel you that way.
And when you leave your feet like that, you only have so many options, and going back to the baseline again.
Going to be a blocking foul on the baseline drive here as Theo Smith of Wayzata picked that one up.
Oh, that's going to be the 7th, so that's a good thing for the Knights. They're going to be in the bonus here the last 5 minutes.
Radke will head to the line. This is going to be actually their first free throw attempt. And Radke buries it. Perfect again. He has 4 points. And it's a 15-point game at 30-15. Hochstetler coming back in for the Knights at that stoppage. Here's Tibbetts. McAndrew, he'll try another, and why not? He is on fire. His third three.
Great pick and pop, and at 6'7", too, he's got that high release, so he can get it off. And his third three, beautiful, great execution.
I wonder if they refer to him as Carter Bjerke Jr. on their team or anything. There's Tennyson with the miss.
Well, different body types for sure. Carter with that big, strong body.
And a lot darker hair, too, so they're not identical.
Oh, great finish.
Wow, Tibbetts.
He uses that left hand nicely, doesn't he? And he's got that kind of that extension with the great touch. That's the second time we've seen him hit with that left hand.
Tennyson getting it back out, and they keep rotating it. Drive into traffic. That's going to be an offensive foul. Good help, D, and Radke called for the charge.
Well, Jake Schmidt, again, you talk about team defense, Jay, leaving his guy and was just there waiting for it. You know, we talk a lot too, is good penetration, the right idea. Come into those jump stops, right? So you avoid those offensive fouls, but right idea, again, just really good, tough team defense for Wayzata.
Under 4 to go now. Trojans have blown it open, leading it by 20. Tibbetts swings it over. And a little short there with Schmidt. Ooh, and a nice globetrotter routine there as Hochstetler got knocked down, but kept the dribble going. Tennyson lost his footing as he turned the corner.
We've seen a couple of STMA players look like they slip a little bit on their ankle.
Ooh, McAndrew, I thought he was going to go again, but passed that one up.
Great recover that time by the Knights. Looked like a couple of good looks for Wayzata, but great closeouts.
Rottinghouse giving it back to Smith with the ball not staying in anyone's hands for very long, and rising up to shoot a three there is Jake Schmidt. And confidence shooting the ball can be contagious, I think, as Schmidt hasn't been playing all that much, but he just confidently stepped up and nailed that one.
Well, that's the kind of possession, too, as a coach you just love, right? Ball never even touched the floor, about 7 or 8 good rotations, ball swinging, and almost an afterthought, too, kind of realizing, hey, I got some space, everyone else is making them, let's see if I can get in on the act, and knocks it down.
A good job of being ready to shoot the ball there, too, because you know, a lot of times it isn't like you're thinking you have to shoot there, but you want the defense to respect any of those guys that catch the ball.
Well, it sounds so elementary, but the triple threat position, right? And you see so many guys holding the ball above their head, not really in a position to do much. If you're in that triple threat, all you have to do is you know, jab, and you're in the position to kind of take whatever the defense gives you.
And obviously, you can't say everybody's as talented 1 through 15, but Wayzata, you can see they all kind of play that same way, and they're ready to move the ball, and they're looking to share the ball, and you can see. I mean, I have to be honest. You walk in the gym, you might not be dazzled looking at them all individually, but as a group, it's a very good unit.
Well, and it shows itself on a night like tonight when you got 2 players that normally start and play a ton of minutes out, and yet you're still functioning at a really high level, especially offensively. Guys knowing their roles, knowing where they're supposed to be, and knowing the style of play that Coach Schnetler has ingrained here with the Trojans.
And really tonight, how many shots would you say they've taken that are bad shots?
No.
Maybe
Yeah.
1, if any.
Yeah, and if I'm the Knights here,
Double dribble call there, or carry.
yeah. If I'm the Knights, I'm trying to attack the basket. You can see Wayzata trying to be physical on defense, being in the bonus. Maybe the Knights can get some contact, get to the foul line here, and get some easy points.
Now they did go a little 2-3 zone, it looks like here, or an extended 2-3. Way across to McAndrew. Tibbetts will give it to Berkman. Ooh, almost stolen. Berkman got it back. McAndrew had trouble with the handle. They've at least succeeded in making Wayzata have to think a little bit about how to attack this. And Berkman. How's that for a possession? Take all that time off, looking a little unsure, and then just calmly bury a 3.
You know, it's not like there wasn't a defender there. That was deep and contested, but Wayzata clearly just having it going right now from the perimeter.
Tennyson trying to answer, and he finally gets himself going. Second bucket, his first 3 of the night.
And he can do that. He can do it in bunches, and you can see he's got a really quick release. And at 6'4", 6'5", too, is able to get that shot on even when there's a defender by him.
McAndrew looked like he was going to throw it to an open wing there. He thought he had a teammate. Now Berkman wants another 3. That one in and out. Maris rebounding. And Riley Purcell, but the Trojans get back. Purcell trying to drive into the heart of that defense, had it blocked. Now a 2-on-1. Berkland attacking the other way, hit the bottom of the backboard with it, but then out of bounds off STMA.
Yep. Well, I like how hard he went too, and great defense by Tennyson that time. Just contesting, right? You know, you're not necessarily going to try to foul or get a block, but you just alter the shot a little bit.
Harvey will inbound. 1:09 to go in the half. 41-18 Wayzata, but they turn it over here as Purcell picking that one off. Damaris down the middle, and nice little drop step, and he scores it.
Great footwork too, good patience. Nice spin, able to finish. His second basket here of the half.
So 41-20. See if Wayzata is going to pull this out and try to make the Knights come up, extend that zone a little. They may hold for one shot here. They've obviously got a very comfortable lead and would like to end the half on a good note and not allow St. Michael to get another shot up even. Tibbetts working the dribble, 15 seconds to go now. Tibbetts trying to split the D. Oh, and there'll be a foul call. little bit of a late whistle maybe, and the Knights kind of grimacing on that one, but they will get the foul on Hochstedler. Tibbetts, that one probably didn't feel real good, but seems to be all right. Let's watch as he splits, goes between, and then just kind of got their legs tangled. Might have hit knee to knee even. 6 seconds left. McAndrew gets it back out. Quick release, 3 won't go, and Tennyson wins the battle for the rebound. Then he got fouled by Harvey, and Tennyson's going to be able to shoot free throws at the other end. Harvey just battling for the rebound. And so the Knights will, in fact, get a chance not for a field goal, but to shoot free throws as Tennyson will go to the line. And that was the kind of, it was a good hustle, but the kind you had to call it because he ended up hitting him on top of the head pretty hard with his elbow or forearm there. So Tennyson making the first. One more here for Johnny Tennyson, and he makes a pair here for the Knights. So Wayzata won't get another opportunity here. We will reach halftime. And Wayzata in command here. It was relatively even for a chunk of that half, but then the Trojans just kind of upped the scoring pace and kept after it and pulling away to lead it by 19 at half after those 2 free throws made by the Knights. Let's go down now to Ryan. He's with Coach Nettler.
Coach, Tuesday evening, kind of windy, nasty outside. You got a couple players out. You got a big game on Friday. We talked maybe you'd overlook this game a little bit. Your guys came out on fire and focused. What did you think of that first half?
We've been playing that way no matter who's been on the floor. The guys have stepped up. We're missing our best offensive player, one of the best players in the state, in Carter Bierke, and Spencer Hall is one of the best defenders in the state, in my opinion. And we got guys that have been dying for a chance to play, and they get that chance, and they've stepped up and done a great job with it.
What does that feel like for you, knowing you have depth, knowing you have guys that, when called upon, can get the job done?
Yeah, it's awesome. It gives you a little more comfort, but you don't feel that comfort until the game's over. So we got 18 more minutes. We got to go out and do it again.
Biggest thing you're looking for in the second half?
Consistency. We got lucky a few times on some of their shooters. We got to make sure we know who we're guarding and get higher hands on, especially on Tennyson.
Thanks. Congrats on the first half. See you, Coach. Yep. Back to you, Jay.
Thank you, Ryan, and thanks to Coach Nettler. We'll hear from Coach Johnson coming back into the second half. Halftime score, Wayzata 41, St. Michael-Albertville 22. Lake Conference Boys Hoops here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here to St. Michael-Albertville High School. A beautiful facility, by the way. We don't get a chance to come up here all that often, but with them in the Lake Conference, obviously see them a little bit more now. Wayzata 41-22 lead over the Knights as we check out some first half highlights. And earlier on, Knights were kind of hanging with Wayzata. Yeah. It was a little back and forth.
6-5 there for a big part, and that's why they got the first play of the game there. Nice backdoor cut.
Maynard with the layup, and then Tennyson, great pass here. That was beautiful.
Yeah. And I thought when the Knights were able to push in transition, Jay, they did get a couple of nice looks.
Here's Tennyson getting that steal here. He wanted to hammer it home. It was, a semi-dunk there, but able to put it in for 2. And then they got a nice cut there from Radke, but they just had trouble matching the scoring pace from the Trojans. That time able to get one for Tennyson, but Tibbetts and crew just attacking.
Great left, too.
And Birkeland started to heat up after a couple of early misses, burying some threes. And then Harvey this time recognizing he had a little smaller guy on him, went up strong with that one, gets a 3-point chance. And how about this guy off the bench? Jackson McAndrews burying not just one, not just two, but 3 3-pointers in this first half.
And again, you can see, contested, and that was deep. That was a good 4 feet behind the 3-point line, and nice pick and pop for his 3rd 3 of the game. I think he really contributed, kind of blowing this game open there a little bit.
I would agree, as you see Tibbetts and Birkeland and McAndrew leading the way for Wayzata, and Tennyson coming down a little bit late there, but they did a pretty good job on him, and he also missed a couple shots that he normally would make, I think, too. He has 7. We'll take a quick timeout and come back. More basketball here from STMA. It is Wayzata leading at 41-22.
How is my little birdykins feeling?
Well, I feel okay. My wing hurts a little bit, but that's okay.
I made the decision to get Big Bird vaccinated because COVID vaccines are the best way to keep yourself, our friends and neighbors, and me safe and healthy.
And it'll help me keep playing with my granny bird and all my friends at school.
Yeah.
It's okay to have questions about COVID vaccines for your kids. Get the latest facts by speaking to your pediatrician or healthcare provider.
Welcome back here. Let's go down to Ryan with Coach Johnson.
Hey, Coach, what did you think there of the first half?
Credit to Wayzata. They got, Birkeland hit a bunch of shots. 24 came out and buried a couple of those threes, and we weren't able to defend it quite well enough in that first half and gave up 41. And then offensively, we just got to show a little patience, swing the basketball, and get a little better shots.
So good luck in the second half. Yep, you bet. Back to you, Jay.
Thank you, Ryan. And Ryan will be making his way back up here. Keep him running a little bit. As Coach Johnson, I think, for part of the half, they were doing, kind of what they wanted to do, but then just little by little, Wayzata combination on both ends really burying a lot of 3-pointers, and obviously they weren't necessarily having 24. McAndrew way high in the scouting report there, and he hurt him with some threes, but the Trojans also defensively, and that's the thing, defensively, it doesn't matter. You're not always going to shoot the ball well, even though they generally do, but defense kind of travels, and no matter who you're playing, if you defend well, you have a decent chance. Down to the corner, Tennyson. Talking about wanting to swing that ball side to side. They find it down low in the up and under, but missed as Maynard unable to finish it as they jump by him there.
Great shot fake, too. It's just one you got to convert coming out of halftime.
And there's Birkeland burying another one. Exactly what the Knights were saying we've seen a little too much of.
Well, and really a 5-point swing there, right? Should have been a layup, and instead that rims out and you give up a 3.
Good aggressive attack there, but the shot partially blocked by Rottinghouse. Harvey gets an open look from the wing. That is short.
Good rebound.
And Tibbetts prowling in from behind there. Knocked it away, couldn't quite come up with the steal. But I like Tibbetts as a player.
Just plays hard, right? He seems to always be in the right position. Doesn't force things. A lot of times guys that play fast, you see them force things, bad shots, turnovers. He takes really good care of the ball and takes good shots.
Yeah, it's a good feel for the game, it seems like.
Yep. Good fake.
Great fake. Finished by Radke there. Nice job. Got Barnett up in the air. Barnett had that foul-plagued first half, so he didn't want to foul there either.
Well, it's smart. If I'm STMA, I'm going right at him and either try to get him his 4th foul or...
Barnett will stop and bury a 3.
He's like, I missed out on all that action in the first half. I want to get involved, and knocks down another 3.
Get a little bit bunched up down there, but Maynard looking to turn and go, and a nice strong move and finish by Ryland Maynard.
Yeah, 6'4", played with a great pace and a great tough finish. And that's one of those, you're either going to get fouled or you're going to make it, right? You go strong like that. He's given him 6, which is already over his season average, so he's been a bright spot on offense.
And he's my second favorite high school player named Ryland, after my nephew that plays at Zimmerman. So.
Probably not too many of them around, right? That's probably
it's
starting to get
getting more
popular
common,
name,
but yeah, you're right. Here's a jumper miss by Barnett. Harvey able to track it down and lays it in.
Just great court awareness, looking over to the right side of the court. Defense kind of flowed that way, spun back and able to finish at the rim.
Drive down the middle. Birkeland, though, playing solid D that time. And then Tennyson kicked it around a little bit, stays with it. Could not quite finish in traffic.
That would have been a heck of a finish, too.
Harvey will give it up to Birkeland, the trailer. Couldn't get it to go. And Barnett will be called for the foul, his 4th. Watch this play by Harvey here.
First of all, just great effort fighting for the offensive rebound coming in. But watch the blue jersey. Everyone flows over to our left there, and he able to, just by being patient, able to finish on the other side.
A lot of times when you get stuck that far underneath the hoop, too, you kind of panic, but he didn't. He just realized, like, I got a little room here. I can pivot and go up. Birkeland as they push it back the other way. Here's McAndrew. Can he do it again? Why not? His 4th.
He's got about as pure of a jump shot, too. He's one of those guys that I feel like if he has an open look, you're surprised when it doesn't go in. Great mechanics.
Well, and that's the thing. The way most of the Wayzata guys that have been shooting it, you're not ever getting the feeling that it's kind of lucky. I mean, they just shoot like they expect to make these threes.
Well, and that's a smart play, too, in transition. When you drive into the teeth of the defense, they have to collapse and just making the extra pass. And a nice job by Harvey, I think, knowing who's got the hot hand there and made the extra pass. And McAndrews, 4 threes tonight. They've just collectively as a team really shot the heck out of the basketball.
So look at the standings in the lake. Eden Prairie and Wayzata right up near the top. Obviously Hopkins and Wayzata will tangle on Friday on the Trojans home court. So good basketball league. I mean, it's good in every sport, but there's some pretty good power at the top of that conference.
Yep. I think Eden Prairie, surprisingly, wasn't necessarily picked to have a great year, but they've just gotten better and better. Beat Wayzata earlier in the year. Sit atop the conference, but yeah, good depth as always in that league.
And it was not deflected by Tibbetts. Radke was hoping so.
I thought it was deflected too.
And their bench is saying, did you not see that? It was hard to tell, but they were so close to it, it felt like they probably knew, but.
Nice pass.
Nice. Yeah. Birkeland to Harvey for 2.
And again, that penetration, and Wayzata, again, cut in hard on the baseline. As a defender, you get caught kind of watching the ball, and you guys, before you know it, he's cutting, and good look at the basket.
Well, that's a good point. Birkeland is strong enough with the ball that he's able to make those passes from the free throw line instead of 5 feet back, whereas maybe the angle isn't there.
Yep. And it's also, if I'm guarding Wayzata, I'm not helping. I'm making Drew Birkeland beat me drive into the basket, right? He's a great shooter. He can drive to the basket, but you can see what a great passer. He's got great vision.
Damaris met a double team. He'll go up anyway, no good. And Tibbetts. Little Euro step there. No, but he will go to the line.
You never know if that's going to be called travel or a foul, right? Some referees call that as a travel, but that's that big, long Euro step. Watch him kind of explode and then brings it over.
Jans will pick up the foul.
And again, a nice job by Tibbetts using that left hand. He's used it quite a bit tonight. Great finisher with it.
Tibbetts now with a dozen.
Just really good balance for Wayzata across the board. You got 3 players in double figures. You got a 4th one, Ryan Harvey with 8. So just good, solid balance.
Wayzata now up by 30.
Yeah, and if I'm Johnny Tennyson right now, I'm trying to get the ball in my hands. I got to try to take this game over offensively if I can.
Radke the miss. Nice board grab there by Rottinghouse. Birkeland down the baseline, back out. Rottinghouse will swing it to Harvey. Handing it off to Birkeland. He was fouled.
And again, great patience by Harvey, just kind of waiting to see who ends up springing open. And when you're denying at that three-point line, you see Birkeland, look at him, that hard cut. All he gets is that half a step. And all Damaris can do is try to reach in and get the foul there, but sending Birkeland back to the line. Kind of a broken possession, but just by cutting hard, able to make something out of it.
And good point, too, about Harvey with the patience there. A lot of people, when they're in that spot, they panic. They feel like, oh, my God, I've got to get rid of it.
Just chuck it out, but you know, that kind of scramble offense sometimes can really, if you got good movement, can lead to good shots.
Well, Birkeland misses a pair, but they get the offensive board and another crack at it. Unable to get it to go, though, and here comes Tennyson. And he was fouled as they tried to tie him up, splitting the D, but instead it's going to be a foul call against Tibbetts. Radke will bring it inbounds. Damaris looking to drive it into the middle and not able to get it to go, and Birkeland the rebound here for the Trojans.
Oh, good strong move, just kind of had a weird angle there to the basket.
Open look, and another guy can make threes. Jake Schmidt buries that one, his second three of the night.
And again, I go back to Drew Birkeland, just getting into the heart of the defense, being patient, finding a shooter. Wide open look for Wayzata.
And Radke was fouled as he drove that in. Boy, they got enough threes tonight. It's like a couple weeks worth for some teams, right? I mean,
I'm sure Coach Netler's thinking, let's save a few of these for Friday night too when we got Hopkins. But
12 made three-pointers. They've easily outscored the Knights only with threes.
Yep.
And then they've got a few more points beyond that, obviously, too.
And it hasn't just been one person, right? It's been, 4 or 5 players knocking them down. Yeah. I thought Radke did a nice job knowing he's going up against a shot blocker and McAndrew of kind of going under the arm, knowing that he can get that contact and find a way to get to the free throw line.
And it rolls away from Tibbetts. It's going to be out off the Knights. Subbing in for STMA now is Longben, 22. Inbounded to Tibbetts here. Wayzata leading at 59-28. A little under 12 to go. McAndrew's going to shoot another one. He's short that time, and Tennyson boards it.
Nice cut, nice pass.
Back out. Damaris wanted to make him think he would take that one. It rolled away from Tennyson, but Maynard recovered. Damaris will shoot it from the corner, and he buries it.
Oh, good look by Tennyson, just reading the defense. You can tell Wayzata really packing the lane when he's got the ball. They don't want to give him any lanes, trying to make other people hit from the outside, and Damaris made him pay.
Wide open underneath was Schmidt, and Hay finds him.
Yeah, nice little back cut there. Couldn't tell if there was a screen, but Jake Schmidt giving him really good minutes tonight. 8 points.
Well, and when the team's shooting the three so well, too, it has a tendency to, you get that defense pulled out, and then you can kind of get those things to happen a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, nice little faking like he was coming out to the three-point line and slip into the basket.
So a 30-point lead here for the Trojans. You see they are in at number 4. Park Center got a nice win on Monday night, beating Osseo for a second time. Osseo's ranked 8th, Hopkins ranked 7th. We got Wayzata and Hopkins coming up on Friday night. Again, that is at Wayzata High School. We will have a great girls matchup that night between Wayzata and Hopkins.
Well, and I'll tell you what, Eastridge at number 3, Wayzata with a huge win versus them last week, again without Carter Bierke. So obviously you never want to play without your best offensive player, but I think giving them that confidence that they can be successful even without him, and you give him another couple of days rest with that ankle, hopefully ready to rock and roll come Friday night.
So it'll be Knights basketball in the backcourt. A little over 11 to go in the game. The lead has grown to 30 for Wayzata.
Well, Miles Barnett back in with that fourth foul.
Gonna get a foul call on the reach in there for the Trojans by Hay. Team foul number 5 here, so Knights will inbound on the baseline. Tennyson goes up to get that one. Way across, Damaris shooting it, no good, and Barnett the board. Harvey cut off at the baseline. Barnett kicking it over. There's McAndrew for another 3.
Oh, great driving kick by Barnett, and if I'm the Knights, I'm not leaving McAndrew with the way he's shooting the ball. Late closeout, another open look. He's on fire.
And when you're making shots like that too, it makes you feel a lot better to give that ball up when you're a passer, when you know your guy might very well make it.
Oh, good ball fake. Nice shot. Hudson Hochstetler, yeah, he's a 9th grader and just a tremendous shooter. Great little ball fake to free himself up, and you can tell great confidence shooting the basketball.
Barnett now, McAndrew. Harvey, a little hesitation dribble. He'll go all the way for the layup.
Well, you said it, Jay, that hesitation. He just plays at a great pace. And it's not necessarily how quick and fast you are. It's that change of speed, that deception, and just by hesitating there.
Give and go, but McAndrew meets Radke and blocks a great block. To the corner. Harvey will shoot up a 3 and he hits. Boy, if that isn't a good example of that, everything's going Wayzata's way. They get the block at one end, then the 3. Tennyson will shoot it, no good, and Hay rebounds. Oh, Barnett ran into Radke, but Radke fouled him. And we are just into running time. We're right at 35 right now, so the clock keeps ticking. Kyle Ross, a freshman, will check in for STMA, number 3. And also Landon Reibel, 21. Barnett.
Good help.
Barnett will take that shot, spins in and out. Nice rebound by Hay, and McAndrew a step back. That was asking a little too much maybe to get that one. They'll keep it rotating around, and an open look there for Schmidt.
Hey, second possession, offensive rebound, and they got to go. Jake Schmidt with double figures now too. He's been great tonight.
Damaris wanting to drive that ball, cut off. His pass was off the leg of Smith. And Wayzata will get it. Barnett drives it. Oh, in and out.
Good cut, good pass.
And won't quite drop there for Hochstetler, but Hudson will head to the free throw line here.
Well, I think too, when you're a good shooter like that, knowing teams are going to jump out at the three-point line, if you can use that cut, opens everything up. Again, offensive rebound, kicking it around, extra pass, and Jake Schmidt knocks down another 3.
Wayzata kind of clearing the bench here as Jake Berkland, number 5, will come in. Also 34, Isaiah Hopte. Number 4 is Nick Benega. 25 is Ben Schaefer. Free throw good there. Quick shot up there, no good for Benega.
This is the 38th year in a row we've had a Benega in the program for Wayzata.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Well, there were some great ones over the years, I'll tell you.
Won't drop there. Theo Smith grabs the rebound here for Wayzata. 6:20 to go. Trojans up 72-36.
Yeah, Hudson got a good look there. Again, he's a tremendous shooter.
Pass deflected on the back cut there as Ben Schaefer trying to find Benega cutting. Jake Berkland will inbound. Drive and kick there. Hamte shooting it up no good, and rebound grab by Kyle Ross. Lost on the first try, and then we'll get a foul call as Brooks O'Brien trying to power that one up through the defense. And foul call going to go against Hamte. Brian short with that one. More subs in here. Tommy Lafer, number 22, coming in for Wayzata. 31, Braden Sandman. Drew Nipstead, number 35. O'Brien missing again there. Ian Norman, number 3, also in for Wayzata. That first group of subs sometimes doesn't get to play as long as they would like, because you got a few more that you want to be able to get in there off the bench as well. And that's going to be an offensive foul call there on Braden Sandman.
The Sandman.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say if maybe they weren't up by 36, perhaps that one wouldn't have been called on him, but you never know. Jeremiah Johnson is in there, number 4, handling here for the Knights. 34 is Logan Coons. Knocked away, and here's an opportunity. Jake Berkland. Little shot fake and scores it.
Yeah, I love that move. You go hard like that, stop. It's the old Top Gun move. You hit the brakes, they're going to fly right by, and you get an easy layup.
And then you got to hope your shoes hold up nicely and you're not flying by too. Short on the shot was Ross. Didn't see that one coming. That's why coach will tell you, that's why you got to have your head up when you're running up court. A coach in junior high that to teach that lesson when we were running sprints, he would occasionally just toss the ball at you.
Got to look for it. Yeah. Yeah, good point guards are always looking ahead too, so you got to be prepared and ready for it.
Little jump stop move there. Would not fall though for Landon Rybel. I think we're going to have a foul call there. Yeah, just kind of a trip, an excuse me trip on Benega. Well, there's a look. We've got some more basketball this week. Girls game Wednesday night. Tino Grace at Armstrong in the Northwest Suburban. Then the Hopkins girls contest on Friday night. Then will be Osseo Armstrong girls on Monday. And then some boys hockey coming up. We're going to get some playoff girls hockey in the mix coming up soon too. Those matchups to be announced, but watch for some of that as well. First free throw good for Landon. One more time coming here. And makes a pair. Approaching 2 minutes to go in this one as Wayzata going to chalk up win number 15 on the year. Benega turns, fires in and out. And going to be out off the Knights. Pretty good hustle there, but Ross knocked it out. Whip down to the corner. Banninga will shoot another long one, and it is good.
It's a foul. You can see the bench all excited too. It's when it rains, it pours, and right now Wayzata, that rim is looking big.
You give some credit to the guys on both these teams. When you've been sitting watching all this time, it's not that easy to be sharp when you come in there. I know, Ryan, you never had to do that because you were always playing the whole time.
No question about it.
I have a little experience with that.
Well, and most of these guys too, they play JV, so you're also sore a little bit. You haven't stretched, so it's not easy to come in at the end, but you're so excited to get in the big game that sometimes you try to do too much too, and that doesn't usually work out. But see the same style of basketball here for the Trojans, just drive, kick, extra pass, and another three goes down as Isaiah knocks it down.
From the top of the key, won't fall there for Ross on that shot attempt. Now back out. Here's Coons for an open look, and he hits. So subs on both sides, stepping up and making some shots late here. Gonna kick it back out. Here's Norman getting a three-point attempt. Won't go. Maybe one more opportunity here as Johnson into the front court for the Knights. He'll bring it to the corner there for Kyle Ross, but no. And we're going to tick down to 0, and it is Wayzata pulling away to put this one away early as the Trojans win it by a final score of 80-41. And again, they moved to 15-4 overall, 6-1 in late conference games, and getting set for their big rematch with Hopkins. They won an overtime battle on the Royals home court a little bit earlier, and this time they'll get them at Wayzata. And a good tune-up for it here tonight. I thought they played pretty strong down the second half of basketball, and first half even really too, putting up 41 in that first half, and they are able to get it done. And again, they're hoping to get a couple of their guys back for Friday, Carter Bjerke and Spencer Hall. They're, at least as of now, sounds like there's at least a possibility that they'll get a chance to play. So it's 80-41, Trojans win it, and we are going to go down courtside now. Ryan is with Jackson McAndrew.
All right, well, I'm here with Jackson McAndrew. Jackson, 5 threes tonight. Everyone got hot, but no one hotter than you. Yeah. How did it feel?
It was great. You know, everyone was moving the ball. Teammates were finding me. That's the main reason I had the 5.
6'7", you got range and you got height. Yeah. Do you feel like you can get your shot off whenever you want to?
Yeah, I feel like I can because, you know, with my length, I got a quick release too. That definitely helps.
I knew you had it going when you got a rebound and you backed it out there to the three-point line and let it go. Almost went in. But how does it feel when everyone's got it going like that? Is it a collective confidence that's going throughout the team?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of energy going. Everyone was hitting shots. You know, the energy was going, and it's helped a lot for everyone to hit threes. You had a couple players out tonight, and you got a big game on Friday. How important was it for you to get off to a fast start and not overlook these guys and come ready to play? Yeah, it was good because they're not a bad team, and obviously we're missing 2 of our main guys, so it was really good that we got out fast and started out with a lot of energy and played well. You ready to go on Friday? Yeah, for sure. All right. Congrats on a great game, buddy. Thank you. Keep it up. All right, back to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan. And coming into the night, I don't know that we would have necessarily thought Jackson McAndrew would be the guy we'd be talking to postgame, but the sophomore played very well, as did a lot of their guys. You can't ask for more balanced scoring. McAndrew had 15, Birkeland 14, Tibbetts 13, and Harvey 13, also 11 for Schmidt for Wayzata as they win this one going away 80-41. Hope you've enjoyed the action here tonight, and again, watch for girls basketball Wednesday and Friday nights coming up on CCX. For Ryan Iverson and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from St. Michael-Albertville.